episode of the Strain Forward podcast. Today, I have a guest on. His name is Brandon Forbes. I'm actually a part of his business program. He has been a fantastic help. He delivers a ton of value. He also has a very unique story. Maybe not unique, but it's definitely he's gone through some things, right? Very similar to a lot of people out there, and I want him to share a bit about that and his journey to where he is now. And then, really, we just want to provide some value for you guys. If anyone out there is looking to get into the online coaching space, take something away from this, apply it, use it, reach out to him, ask questions. But I'll let him start with a little bit about himself and his story, and then we'll dive in.
Yeah, dude, such an honor to be here, bro. And yeah, I'll do a high level overview. Basically, my name is Brandon Forbes, and like Kyle said, I help online coaches start and scale their businesses. And I did not ever think I would be doing something like this. I grew up in a trailer house in a small town, and I wanted to be maybe like a firefighter or something like that. Is what my dad always told me, like, dude, that's what you got to do. And yeah, but even at an early age, there was like this longing for God
Hmm.
that was I was kind of different than most people. Like even throughout like middle school, high school, like people would be, like whatever you call it. Even I remember like in a memory right now, like 7 years old, some of my friends would like start cussing, and I'd be like, guys, don't do that. And it was because it was like an inner desire for the Lord. I didn't really know what it was, but at 18, fast forward, had an encounter with the Lord after spending a few nights in jail because I got caught smoking weed on homecoming night, senior year, and yeah, I still don't know why he took us to jail, but
Yeah, let's say
nonetheless, it
that
was
seems like
like,
a bit extreme.
yeah, it was like whatever. But it actually set me up. I had an encounter with the Lord, went to Bible college, and yeah, just started developing this passion for business. I tried a pool cleaning company, a lawn mowing company, guitar, like pedal board design company, all these different things, t-shirt company, and none of them really ever worked because I just didn't have my crap together, to be honest. I
Hmm.
was all over the place. And about 24 years old, 22 actually, something like that, I started to struggle with alcohol. And at this point, I was already married, already like running a marketing agency, like an app company, a co-working space, all these different things. And I just got like super burned out,
Yeah.
and just kind of laid everything down. And yeah, I was like, all right, Lord, I'm gonna take this relationship with you serious. Like, by no means am I perfect. Like, still, a ton of work to do. But yeah, kind of been in that posture, and then yeah, the Lord connected me with people after people that got me to where I am today. And yeah, dude. So
Yeah.
now, yeah, just running the business. So
Yeah, I mean now you're absolutely crushing it and you're doing awesome.
mm.
I mean, but I want to hit on this. So the first part of your one of your modules in your course is attacking the mindset. And you said something a second ago where it's like all of those businesses failed truthfully because you just didn't have your crap together. Right? Like
Yeah,
if you had your crap together, potentially one of those businesses could have taken off and who knows, you
yeah,
could be doing that, whatever. But you're here and you're enjoying this. I want you to hit on that like why is mindset the first module, right?
mm.
And what did you mean by not having your crap together? Because I don't want to
Yeah,
just glaze over that. Like that can be a
yeah,
very like what did that mean for you tangibly?
100%. So I love the way I put it. My coffee hasn't fully kicked in yet. Not having my crap together means not uh, living up to the standard I believe God's called, men of God to live,
Yeah.
which means being honest, not only with people, but with yourself.
Mm.
So I'm thinking like, have a pool cleaning company, tell someone you're going to be there, like you need to be there, right? No, you don't need to show up late because you were out drinking with your buddies the night before,
Right.
right?
Right.
Being a good steward, literally, I would make like great money on a pool repair or something, and then I would go to the bar with my buddies. Like, so
Yeah.
it's like people are wondering, like, dude, why can't God bless me? It's because the Bible says if you're faithful with little, He'll give you more, right? And it's like dude, I couldn't even steward $5,000 a month pool cleaning company.
Yeah.
So the Lord had to develop me in order to be able to carry more weight and have more influence. Like, dude, if I would have gotten a fraction of what the Lord's blessed me with today, back then, I would already be dead most likely, or in jail, or just like crazy, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of times we're wanting things way too early instead of wanting to actually change,
Yeah.
right? Like, all right, Lord, I need more money. Well, it's actually, we should be praying like, all right, Lord, I need better character, right?
Mm.
Um, yeah, so I think that in regards to like not, being where I ought to have been. And yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Let me hit on the mindset thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, dude, I used to have a program. It was called Kingdom Coach. Um, and that was what I started everything with, which originally it was helping Christians start or scale, mainly start coaching businesses to like marry their impact with like a income producing business and like make impact online. And it went really good, but I don't know exactly why, but I felt like the Lord started to like tell me to shift the branding.
Hmm.
So then it kind of went to start and scale, just because I wanted to, be able to like work with people who weren't Christian too,
Right. Yeah.
um, just to like be able to reach more people, things like that. Um, so, and Kingdom Coach, like the first couple modules were like making impact, purpose, like that kind of stuff. So I wanted to keep that in there because the Bible says, like, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So a lot of people that come into like a business coaching program are like, dude, I want to reach more people, market better, make more money, all this stuff. And it's like, but at the core, they still believe they're the kid at the lunch table that no one wants to talk to,
Yeah.
right? Or they
Yeah.
still believe that they're their first failed business,
Mm.
right? Or the limiting beliefs. Like I had so many limiting beliefs, bro. Like I grew up in a trailer house where my parents were doing meth, right? So
Dang.
we didn't have any money. So I had to realize like there's a human's way of thinking, right? And then there's thinking with the mind of Christ, and it's like that's the key.
Man. So how did you break through that limiting belief? Because there's a lot of gurus out there that say, stare in the mirror and say 25 times I am X, Y, and Z, and it goes into your subconscious. And then you got the Alex Hormozis of the world that say like action, just
Mm.
undeniable proof that you are who you say you are.
Yeah.
And I personally think it's a little bit of both, right? Marrying the two, actions and words. But for you, how did you break through those limiting beliefs?
Yeah, dude. Like, bro, I'll just be completely honest with you. It's the Lord.
Hmm.
Like, the more I try and like manufacture like answers to stuff, the more I realize, like, bro, it was all the Lord,
Yeah.
right? I mean, like, yeah, there's wisdom and stuff, like pursuing a mentor. So that was like something practically I did. Was I remember I had an encounter with the Lord, and I moved my life like an hour away to be a part of this church, right? After that happened, and I didn't know anyone. So it's like step one, like separating from the crowd, I guess you could say.
Hmm.
Step two is there was a pastor at that church that, dude, I spent so much money like driving to get coffee with, like missing ex- extra shifts to spend time with when he would go and preach. Like all these things. So it's almost like I invested in like a coaching program just being mentored by this pastor for
Yeah.
2 3 years, right? Um, so like separating from the crowd, getting a mentor, and then honestly getting around people who are where you want to be. Like I'd always done that. Like I was like a sponge. And honestly, dude, it's crazy we're talking about this. I just started to feel kind of convicted because I haven't been the same student as I was, and
Hmm.
it's like, dude, why is business like staying the same? And like the Lord will show me it's because I'm not gleaning from someone ahead of me. So it's like anytime we're stuck in anything, you got to go to the next level and who you're surrounding yourself with. And mindset, usually, bro, like if you're struggling mindset wise, it's because you're hanging around your, four buddies drinking beer around a fire. Like, I
Yeah.
got this business idea, man. It's like, oh yeah, buddy, you've had like six, this year, dude. And
Yeah.
it's like,
They're just
boom,
dragging you down.
yeah,
Okay. So I'm actually fascinated with what you just said, but and I want to get into more practical stuff in a minute. But for you, feeling like you're a little bit stuck, like maybe you've reached the ceiling of where you're at, you want to surround yourself. So how do you personally figure out who to surround yourself with? Is it as easy as, well, who's in the space that's doing better? Okay, I'm gonna reach out to them and invest, or what does that look like?
yeah, dude. I'll be honest, okay. I've done that, but like that's not my flow. Like there's probably several coaching programs I could buy right now, that I'm sure would help. But to me, like what I do is like I'm just like, Lord, I need a mentor in this season. Like show me who it is, and uh, I'm down with anyone, right? And so recently, um, like probably a year ago, I prayed something like that, and then this guy who runs a huge ministry, uh, their kingdom business stuff. Like it was just like people would have to pay a lot of money to be mentored by this guy, and he has coaching programs. He's
Yeah.
well known, like good friends with Andy Elliott, like all those guys,
Oh
Dan
yeah. Okay.
Martell. Um, and out of nowhere, we meet in Scottsdale, right? And then after we meet, he says he wants to mentor me, like for free. Like I just
No
want to
way.
be, yeah, speak into your life, stuff like that. So
Wow.
um, stuff like that has happened so much. Like I've invested a lot in coaching, but most of the like impactful things have happened for free, right?
Wow.
Just because I'm like, all right, Lord, like put someone in my life. However, like just so I am clear, like the first program, I bought a coaching program because I knew I needed help. So I totally believe in buying coaching, but there are certain points where it's like you don't need a program. You need like an encounter with the Lord or like spiritual guidance more so than just like information.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you said that, because I think people can hear that and be like, okay, well, I just gotta keep looking for the right person, and it's just gonna be free. And
Yeah.
I think there's a level of discernment there, where
Yep.
you are like actually praying through it, you're journaling about it, maybe talking to friends in your life who are a little bit further along and just seeking guidance, and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
maybe I do invest this money, or a supernatural encounter where the Lord literally puts someone in your life, and like, this is amazing, you know?
Yep. 100%. Yeah, but if it's like practically, like you pray and it's like, for instance, if you're trying to learn how to get in shape, you don't need to pray for the Lord to give you a mentor to get in shape. You need to join a fitness coaching program.
Yeah.
So if it's like a ad problem, it's like I'm not gonna pray for like a supernatural mentor, but I could pray uh, that the Lord would give me a strategy, and then if He
Right.
doesn't, then I would pray that He like shows me who to invest money with, right? So I could learn it. So it's like don't over spiritualize it because people could hear what I'm saying and they're like, oh man, like so I just need to pray. It's like actually, brother, you need to work and you need to spend money to invest in knowledge and skills and like yeah. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of work involved.
Yeah, 100%. No, it's yeah, this kind of stuff, it's a very they're conversations that are hard to navigate, because you don't want to steer people the wrong way. Like, you want to make sure it's
Yeah.
clearly like you're saying the right things, cuz yeah, people can't over spiritualize it and the whole thing, and then that can be tough. But I mean, you can't deny it. Like, there is a spiritual aspect to all of it. And so, there's that
Yeah.
part of it too.
100%.
Um okay, so you get into this space. If you can tie this in, I'd love to. If not, we'll separate it. But what was your first what was your first step of like growing this business, and would it be the same first step you'd give to someone else, or would it be different?
Yeah. So my first step was I'll just kind of tell you how it happened. So I had a coaching business back when I was doing the marketing agency. And let me just rewind really quick. So I was at church. I was cleaning pools. I had just gotten married. I had no money. None of my businesses were working, and I met this lady who made 70 million a year. online coaching, had the life coach school, one of the like most well-known coaches, like friends with every coach you can think of, super well-known.
Jeez.
In Frisco, I started working for her, shipping boxes. My mindset back then was not I want to be a coach or an influencer or make videos. My mindset back then was she's paying me 3 times what I'm making cleaning pools, and I'm gonna ship these boxes until I retire. like like that was my mindset. So I went from that to like quickly seeing like how much money she was making, like a ton of money, dude. And I
Damn.
was like, dang, like this is like nuts. I started listening to Dave Ramsey, and like he's a coach, she's a coach, like all these. I started seeing all these coaches, and then I got interested in editing videos because I was doing it for my pastor, and I was like, dude, I could totally edit videos for coaches. So we started a marketing agency doing that, editing videos for coaches. I ended up losing that job during COVID because we didn't need to ship boxes anymore. So
Yeah.
then I brought her on kind of as a client, got more clients, um, and doing like 15, 20K per month. And then, yeah, started my coaching business, showing people how I did that. And then a couple other things, right? The co working space, like developing an app. So basically, we had this super nice co-working space. I was still like serving at church, loved the Lord, but I started pursuing money as like the number one priority in my life. And yeah, I got so busy with spinning like so many different plates, focused on so many different things. Was drinking. I
Yeah.
mean, not like anything crazy sinful. Like it was just my heart was pursuing money. And
Yeah.
yeah, all that to say, whenever I started the coaching program, I paid someone $2,000 to show me how he was running his program. But that was before I shut everything down. So that's like the picture of me doing everything in my own strength, like just pursuing money. And like some people were like, "Dang, bro, you like made it. You know, you're making all this money." And it's like, dude, I think the most I made in a month was like $12,000. But I spent every penny, bro. It's so easy to spend $12,000. Like,
Yeah.
boom, gone.
Yeah.
And then so I shut everything down, became a sales rep for 6 months, thought I would never be in business again.
Hmm.
And I met this dude named Travis on the internet. I don't know how exactly fully we met, but nonetheless, he was like, dude, I feel like I'm supposed to fly to Texas. And like he was this bald guy, just met him, like loved the Lord, like was like crazy radical about the Lord. I was like, dude, like I don't know, man. We just met. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But he like booked his ticket, flew to Dallas, and was like, "We're meeting up." So we got together, and just like eating or whatever, and like then we prayed after. Like, Lord, speak to us. He's like, "Dude, I think we're supposed to do a coaching program together." And I was like, "What?" And so we did the Kingdom Coach Challenge, right? I remember at the time I had like $10,000 to my name because I just moved, got a house, all this stuff. And he was like, "All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put 2,500 in each to these ads, and then they're gonna go to this challenge. People are gonna show up, and at the end they're gonna buy the program." I was like, "Dude, you are nuts!" Because ads never worked for me in the past. Like
Yeah.
only organic, like worked. And so I was like, "This is not gonna work," but I just like had faith to do it. So I invested like 25% of my net worth into this challenge, and yeah, I'll never forget. We did like 35K from it, 40K, something like that.
Wow.
Um, yeah, and I was like, holy crap, this is like the most money I ever made in like a short period of time. And I was like, all right, Lord, well, I mean, I'll go all into this if I'm supposed to. So then I quit my job because I was like, this is like nuts. We just made $40,000. Oh my gosh, like this is
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
Yeah.
Uh, and so shortly after that, the Lord gave me this idea for a boosted post, like follower ad, and then kind of all just came from there.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
that's incredible.
Yeah.
So you took the risk. He was at the mastermind, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So you took the risk with this dude. He bought some ads, and it blew up afterwards.
Yeah. And so like 6 months into it, Dude, like running a business is not easy, I will say. So, basically, 6 months into it, a year into it, whatever it was, Travis started to feel like, dude, I'm a pastor at my church. I'm like called to ministry. I need to like serve my pastor in this season. So this is another like God story. And I'm definitely open to having a business partner, like if the Lord does it. But um, like I had just been burned a few times. So the Lord sent someone like Travis, right? And
Mm.
he was like, dude, I feel like God's telling me to give you the business, right? So then he just like, boom, was like, here you go. Like I feel like this is what's supposed to happen. Like most people would never do that, bro. Like
Yeah.
no one would do that. And then yeah, and now he's still on the team and just yeah working. Uh, yeah,
Yeah. What is his role as a part of the team right now?
yeah. So he was closing for like a year,
Yeah.
and then now he's actually doing his own offer, which is cool. And he helps with monthly challenges. So he's like the challenge guru.
The challenge guru. I love that.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah, bro.
Okay, so there we go. Um, so if someone out there's listening right now and they're hearing your story, they're thinking, okay, this is cool. I've thought about the online space. I know it makes sense. It's infinitely scalable as long as you have the right things in place. You're not trading time for money, like all those sort of things, right? Which is what drew
Hmm.
me in. How does one go about starting? All right, because in my mind, it's like, well, first let's figure out what do you like, kind of the blend of like, what are you good at, what are you passionate about, and what's their need for, and can you
Yeah,
find the center between all three of those? Now develop a business plan around it. Like that would be my first thought, but I'd love to hear your thought.
yeah. So I would say the first thing, um, like if you're just starting from complete scratch or listening to this, you're like, okay, I see what Kyle's doing. Brandon, this guy just hopped on this podcast. Seems like he's talking about coaching. What is it? Can you make money in it? Like, so yeah, I mean, basically, people will pay you either a low ticket price, anywhere from like $10 to 300 bucks for information, right?
Yeah,
People will also pay you anywhere from 300 bucks to, 300,000 for a transformation, right? And on average, like you're a beginner, like that number seems too far fetched. So anywhere from like $2,000 to $5,000,
yeah,
you could create a fitness coaching program, relationship coaching program, mindset coaching program, business coaching, all these different types of outcomes. But the thing is, you can't create it unless you've actually achieved or have the skill or knowledge about the thing, right?
yeah,
So you're listening, like, what is something you could teach people? Instantly, something popped in your head, then it's like, good. You could probably create a coaching program around that. Or
yeah,
what's something you've overcome? Maybe you've lost a lot of weight. Maybe you put on a lot of weight and muscle, and you were a skinny dude before. Like maybe you overcame a divorce. Maybe you overcame, X, Y, or Z.
yeah,
Then it's like that's something you could coach on. But if you have no skills, no knowledge, or no result of a transformation, like genuinely, because there are some people that like they should probably just get a job, right? So if you have something like that that like popped in your head, like yeah, I mean, I would say first step would be turning it into an offer and just offering to help a few people, right?
mm,
Maybe it's for $100, maybe it's free, $50. My first client was like $200. So
wow,
find someone that has a problem and offer to help fix it, and then you get really good at fixing it. You get really good at marketing it.
there you are. What'd you say? You get really good at
Oop.
marketing it. You get really
Yeah,
good at fixing it.
yeah, and then basically you can just start to charge more.
So how do you decide how much to charge for something? What's
Yeah,
what's because
basically, yeah, I would say it's the red pill test, is what I say to people, and then also whatever feels good to you. So, for instance, you have a fitness coaching program.
Yep.
Let's just say there was a magic red pill that if you gave it to me and I took it in 90 days, I would have my dream physique. Like dream. How much would I pay? Honestly, bro, like probably like $50,000. like right
Wow.
now. Right, that's me though. If you asked, let's see, Elon Musk, maybe a billion. He's got 400 billion, so maybe he would pay like 20 billion to have like a shredded body looking like Jeff Bezos, like without having to do anything. So
Yeah.
point is the price really just speaks to the transformation and the person uh, being
Buying it.
transformed. So if you, I hate to go this dark with it, but if you want to help like unemployed people get fit, you're going to be extremely limited.
Yeah.
But if you want to help like Christian business owners get fit or business owners, then you could charge like 10K. And it's more of like a mindset, personal development, and fitness program. So that's kind of how it goes. I would say this like, A, you need to charge more than it costs to acquire them with ads. So,
Mm-hmm.
whatever that is. And then also, you need to charge a price that's like worth your time and makes you feel like happy whenever
Yeah.
someone signs up. Like, so when I was doing one-to-one coaching, I used to charge, bro, 2,500 bucks, and I was like, holy crap! Like, Sarah, we're gonna eat good tonight, bro. Like, this is our like all of our bills, right, in
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
payment. And then it went to 5K, and it was like, oh my gosh. And then after a while, it was like, whatever, right? And then it went to 10, and then 15, and then now, like 25 is for like just a VIP one-to-one coaching program. Just feels, it's weird. It's not. It's just whatever feels right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
people listening could be like, what the heck? This dude is so out of touch with reality. But I'm telling you, like the amount of money you think is a lot of money right now really isn't.
Yeah.
It's like people are like 20K is a lot, but you can't even buy a car. Like, so it's like you think God isn't so much bigger, right, than a car? Like
Yeah.
20K, I mean, it is a lot of money, and I don't want to be insensitive, but whenever you view something as a lot, it makes it feel unattainable. That's like a huge mindset shift for me with money. Um, like having 100 grand in your bank account. Some people hear that and they're like, I could never fathom that.
Right.
Well, start to believe that it could happen for you and start to see how it works. It's not like this crazy magical pixie fairy dust that some people get to access and some don't. It's like you could actually have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that comes back to again, like you just alluded to, the mindset piece. I
Hmm.
mean, that was a big mindset shift for me when I was going through your program, and it was like you're not selling programming because I'm a fitness coach. You're not selling programming. You're not selling the deliverables. You're selling a result.
Mm.
And so, like going to back to the red pill, it was like, okay, so wait, how much will people pay for this result? Because when I asked someone the question, like, hey, how much could I pay you to say stuck where you're at?
Yeah.
And they're like, it'd have to be a lot of money. I'm like, okay, exactly. So
Hmm.
then how much are you willing to pay to actually get out of this? Because you don't want to stay where you're at. And it's not even worth
Hmm.
$50,000, $100,000 to stay here. And that was a huge mindset shift for me. And what's funny is actually, I don't even know if I'm supposed to say this. Maybe I'll be able to
Oh, you're
release
good.
it by the time this episode comes out. But I'm going to be on a show this summer. I don't want to say what it is, but there's a prize winning for it, right? And when I told people the prize of it, they were like, "Oh my gosh, that's crazy." But I'll be honest, when I heard the prize, I was like, "That's not really a lot of money. Like,
Yeah.
you can blow through that so quick."
Yeah, bro.
You know, and I realized quickly, like, my mindset has actually began to change, and they haven't. They still view it
Hmm.
as a lot. So it kind of it goes back to what you're saying.
Hmm. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. Like
Um,
the it's like there's two sides. It's like, it's a lot in the sense of like you can do a lot with it, but at the same time it's not a lot in the sense of like you could spend it really quick. Like a house, two cars. I don't know what the prize money is, but I'm just thinking like for $1 million, let's say, like a house, if you're in Texas you can get a house, right? Or Louisiana or something. Uh Texas house, two cars, you're done.
yeah, yeah. Well, so the prize winnings it's 100. So it's 100K,
Okay, yeah.
and I was like, dude, 100K after taxes. You're probably walking away with, let's just call it 70 if you're
Yeah.
lucky, maybe
Yeah.
65.
Yeah.
Like, dude, 65K is literally, that's nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing. You have to be very strategic with where you put that because it'll be gone so quick.
Yeah, dude.
It's crazy. Um, okay, so someone out there, again, I want to keep hitting on this because I want people to take
Hmm.
something away. They hear what you're saying. They have something they can deliver. They're like, okay, I'm really good at running a business or fitness or playing guitar or whatever, and they can teach people
Hmm.
something, right?
Hmm.
Do they go first to let's create some social media around this and bring in some traction, like some organic content, just put my information out there to get clients, or reach out to some friends and then document it that way? Like, what would you say would be a good first start for them in that way?
Yeah, I would say step one, post something on social media and just say, "Hey, I'm thinking about offering, guitar lessons to a few people who want to learn guitar. Message me the word guitar if you're open." And it's like maybe five people message you. Maybe you do like three quick phone calls with them, and then maybe you sell someone for 250 bucks for like 3 months of guitar lessons. Um, and then what I would do is I would do the guitar lessons. I would, you know, start doing the post more often, making content around guitar. But at some point, usually what happens is you need to get a mentor of some sort. So, like, that's option A. Like, it works, you make money, but you're going to run out of people to sell to, and you're not going to charge enough, and you're not going to be able to do it full time, usually.
Yeah.
So, at that point, I would find somebody who's doing better than you and get them to help you with like marketing, sales, building the offer, things like that. Or maybe you make the post, no one replies, and you sell no one. Well, then I would like probably just find a coach. So anytime you experience like the pain of like not being able to move forward any further, get someone who's done what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reach out to them, figure out how to buy into it, whatever.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think worst case scenario in that situation is you just keep throwing out organic content. Right, like, if you, like let's say you can't buy into something because you're strapped for cash. Let's just say you can't,
Hmm.
or and you don't want to put money toward ads, like follower ads, like you do in your program. My advice would be just keep pumping out organic content. Like, just keep throwing it at the wall until you get traction and just see what happens.
Yeah. 100%.
Um, so then someone gets so let's say they get some clients. They're moving in the right direction. Let's say they hire the mentor. Step two would be either what, A, listen to what the mentor says, or B, you get some clients, and then what, let's scale it from there, charge more,
Hmm.
run more ads. Like, what would be step two?
Yeah. So step two would be like charging more, right? Building an offer that you could sell for like $2,000 to $10,000, charging more, and then from there, better marketing, right? So you're bringing people to you in a funnel that's a predictable way to get people funneled into your content. Building out a sales process to where there's a predictable way to turn them from just a lead into a sale, and then basically reinvesting the profits to a degree from the business back into the business to turn uh, you know $5,000 in savings to 15, and
Yeah.
then putting it all back. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a mindset shift for me as well. The spending money on ads thing.
Hmm.
Um, I had never really done that, and I'm still venturing into it, so I don't want to make it sound like I'm running a ton of ads. I've got
Yeah.
one going right now for like $40 a day, like a boosted post,
Hmm.
which is doing really well. But that was hard for me to accept because I was like, I don't want to spend this money.
Hmm.
I don't want to lose this money. But it was realizing this money turns into more money. Like, that's the whole goal there. And I don't know if you want to say anything on that, but that was a little bit liberating for me.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. I 100% agree. Like I went through the same thing when I spent the 2,500, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is nuts. Like, am I ever gonna make it back?" And it's like, it really is a risk. Like, you might not.
Yeah.
You really might not.
Yeah.
But you might, right?
That's the whole, I guess that's the whole thing of business, right? It's a risk.
Hmm.
And you got to just be willing to like take the risk, make the jump, and if you fail, you fail. Like, what's
Yeah.
worst case scenario if you fail? That's really what you got to play out. And if you can survive worst case scenario, then I say go for it.
Yeah. Dude, I do that test all the time. Like, what's the absolute worst case scenario? You have a business coach, you do what they tell you to do, you lose the money for the program, you lose the money for the ads, you never get a client. Just go there. Okay, so let's say you're negative $10,000. Okay, that's the worst. Then it's like, what's the best case? It actually works, right? You change your life. And usually that end result is dependent on like the person,
Hmm. In
right?
what
So
way?
it's like if you give up like at the first sign of like failure, then like yeah, you know. But usually in most situations there's a room to turn it around, especially with the Lord. Like he works all things out for the good of those who love him, right?
Hmm.
So even failures turn into victories, which is crazy. So
Yeah, God often takes our nastiness and weaponizes it for good, which is so
yeah,
cool.
yeah, bro.
So what's next for you, man? I mean, you mentioned you've reached a little bit of a ceiling. You want to grow, but what's next for Brandon Forbes?
Dude, that's what I'm praying through right now. I
Yeah.
know to continue to get better and serve more people for sure, but I do know um, there's more impact and more in store for sure. I don't know exactly what that looks like yet, but yeah, just being open to hearing from the Lord on it.
You think you'll stay in coaching?
Yeah, to some degree. Like I might do other stuff, but I'll always have a coaching business, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, well, you're good at it. You're doing definitely doing a great job, and you're pushing people in the right direction. So that's been cool to see and be a part of for sure.
100%.
When's your next mastermind? You doing one this summer?
Yeah, we're doing a men's retreat in like 2.5 weeks where like it's just gonna be guys only, and then yeah, my pastor's gonna speak. A couple other guys. We're gonna like work out together, ice bath, that kind of stuff. Like 30 dudes.
Nice.
Um, got some more spots for that, and then yeah, the next mastermind will be in like 3 months.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, dude, I'm definitely gonna be there, or I'd
Heck
like to
yeah.
at least.
Yeah. 100%.
Well, are there any final thoughts you want to share with anybody out there who's listening?
Dude, I would just say honestly, get around people that move you forward. People like Kyle, and yeah, if you put the Lord first, you'll never be last. Yeah,
Hmm. That's a good little sign off there. I love that.
yeah,
All right, you guys. Well, thank you for tuning in. This has been Mr. Brandon Forbes. I'm going to link to him in the show notes when this gets released. You can look him up on Instagram. I am Brandon Forbes, right? Isn't that your Instagram
yep,
handle?
yep, that's right.
Shoot him a message if you need any guidance. Um, but yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And as always, keep moving forward. All right, hold on.
Dude,
Let me stop.